Mather Field opened in 1918, and then after World War I was shut down, and only periodically would open up occasionally for activities until World War II, when it's activated until it's finally closed. In that period, the Air Force was part of the Army, and the Army was famous for having maneuvers, military exercises. But the Air Corps didn't have one, and they really wanted one. And so finally they were given their maneuvers. And it was scheduled here in California, and the war game was, there was a Red Army and a Blue Army, and that the Red Army had invaded California, had conquered Southern California, had an invasion force at Monterey, and was prepared to enter into San Francisco and take San Francisco. The headquarters of the Blue Army was Sacramento and at Mather, and the Blue Army was to defend California. The Blue Army consisted, and during these maneuvers, consisted of somewhere between 60 and 80% of all the Army Air Force's planes. And so it was an enormous event out here, and the people were invited. The public was invited to come, so the fields were full of cars, the people going down seeing us. It was quite dramatic. And they tried all kinds of things. They set altitude records flying in formation. They did aerial photography. They learned to radio from plane to plane in the air. There were a whole lot of new things being tested and tried. They laid a smokescreen over the Capitol to protect it. They did a lot of things like that. But the most interesting single issue was that the public relations side of this, there were people who wrote up the maneuvers for the paper. And we have from the Sacramento Bee collection these submittals that were sent by the military to the paper that were written just like Orson Welles did War of the Worlds. They wrote it as if it was really happening. And the Bee refused to run it. But it's really interesting to read those documents because it's written as if this is real. It's not written as an exercise. So the maneuvers are fascinating, wonderful stuff. Popular Mechanics magazine did a 16-page insert in color in the magazine to promote the maneuvers. And they called Mather Field the West Point of the Air Corps.